Yo, this is WSoul13 bringing you Raid Shadow Legends. And today, I want to talk about why I'm not a fan of this new fusion and why I'm skipping this fusion entirely. But if you're going for the fusion, no big deal. But in my opinion, it's a hard skip. So let's go through everything. Let's go straight to the fusion because that's why you're here. That way you can hear my opinion and you can, be on your way, right? I don't want to hold you guys up or whatever. Okay, so what exactly is this for, right? So, somebody like me, I would probably want her to fill out my Sylvan Watchers, right? So that would be a reason for me to try to get her, would be to fill out Sylvan Watchers. Other than that, though, I really don't have a lot of motivation to try to do it. So I'm going to tell you right now what's going on, starting with an A1. Packs one enemy 80% chance of a decreased speed for 2 turns. Debuff cannot be resisted if Oltan is on the team, and this goes up to 100% chance. So unfortunately, this is an AoE. So I don't know. So like the one place really where decreased speed kind of really matters. Like it matters everywhere. Obviously, Doom Tower, every Doom Tower boss, you really do want decreased speed on there. But one of the places that I believe needs decreased speed is Hydra. So the only thing with Hydra though is it has to be AoE. So unfortunately this isn't AoE, right? So let's take a look. A2 is heal all allies by 30% of their max HP, increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. This books down to a 3-turn cooldown, which is pretty, that's pretty par for the course for a buff extension skill. So heal with a buff extension. Honestly, it's not even as good as the Mythos buff extension, which is a conversation for another time. And then fill 3rd meter of all allies by 30%, increase resistance on all allies for 2 turns with a pretty great base speed of 105. So this is like the money skill right here for her. This is what sets her apart from maybe other arena type dudes, right? So why would you go for somebody like this? Well, you would want increased resistance, and the reason why you want increased resistance is quite easily because in arena, if you put increased resistance on any of your champs with decent resist, decent for the arena level they're trying to beat, there's no way for the opponent to catch up unless they put increased accuracy on their guys. So that's basically it. It blanks all their debuffers with this one skill, plus it gives you a 3rd meter fill. 30% is a pretty beefy 3rd meter fill. So if you can go something like lead boost, speed boost into double boost with increased resistance, that would be a great team in arena. But other than that, for a lot of people like me that don't really play in arena, I don't feel like it's a must-have. But definitely, if you're playing arena, I feel like it's not a must-have, but it's a great angle to try to go for, right? So whenever an ally loses 50% or more HP from a single hit, you get a 50% continuous heal, and then the continuous heal lasts for 2 turns. And then it instantly activates if Oltan is on the team. So Oltan being part of the team gives you 2 benefits. One is I think this A1 cannot be resisted, which is great. And then the second is this continuous heal automatically activates only once an ally per turn. Okay. So yeah. There might be some builds here, like suicide type builds, where you could put the increased healing on with Oltan or whatever. But I feel like maybe it's not all there. Maybe something like Vogoth, Oltan, Oella can become some kind of Bommel type build where you can just sustain damage from the bombs and then try to get back to your turn meters and all that, and then activate the heal again, so that lets you absorb multiple bomb hits. I don't know. It doesn't feel very good, to be honest. And then you do get increased ally resistance in dungeons by 75. So there are dungeons, especially later on down the line, if we're gonna have the super dungeons, where this plus 75 res may come in handy. But, you know, as of right now, I don't feel like it's that big a deal. So yes, the fusion is trash, not a big fan, feel like it's a waste of resources. But let's take a look at the epic. So the epic for a lot of people is kind of like the consolation prize for these, what they call traditional or retro fusion events. So what is it? It's a defense champ for orcs. A1 is each hit 15% of decreased speed. Like I said, decreased speed is amazing. This goes up to 30%, 2 times to hit it. So that's pretty decent, actually. That's pretty decent. And then cleanse from an ally heals 50%, 3-turn cooldown. So this is trash right here. This should just have been either a full cleanse with something else, lesser heal, or just team heal, lesser heal, or even 50% heal, you know. But this is not great. I'm not a fan of that being single target. And then revive on death all allies for 2 turns. So revive on death is actually quickly becoming a useful thing for Sand Devils. Sand Devil? And then each time this champion is hit, increase their death by 2.5%, stacks up to 20%, resets each round. So actually, all in all, not bad. I wish this had ally protect on it. I wish this had ally protect on it. Like, this would have been money for clan boss right here if this had ally protect on it. Because you take the stun away and then you ally protect for the next round, which is, you know, sick. I believe that would have been sick. And then you can pair it with a buff extension champ, Oella, right? Yeah, this is a missed opportunity right here. Kind of sad that this is a missed opportunity. So let's talk about the rare real quick. But I'm not a fan of the rares these days. The rares have been pure utter trash. I mean, seriously, like, why are the rares so bad in this game? Like, the rares used to be like one of the draws to a fusion event before. Like, they would get Frozen Banshee, Soulbound Boyer. You know, we get all these cool rares, right, during a fusion event. Like, if you can't get to the full fusion event, right, you can get these rares. You can get those amazing epics. This is not great right here. So it's a lower level of decrease attack. You know, it was just okay in clan boss, but I wish it wasn't that way, right? So this is increased speed, the lower level of increased speed. Then you get Veil on all allies except this champ. Shield on all allies, 20% this champ's max HP. It's a death-based champ. Wish that was an HP-based champ. Decreased damage received from skills by all allies under Veil by another 5%. Okay. Allies from all skills. So I think, I'm not sure. Okay, so it's like damage mitigation, which is always good. So this would have been a great clan boss character. Like, just straight up great for clan boss. You get increased speed. You can probably turn that off for clan boss if you don't want a speed tune, which is great. And then you get shield on a 4-turn cooldown, unfortunately. So maybe you can turn this on and put this guy on a 4-3, and then you get decreased attack on A1. So what's not to like, right? What's not to love? What's not to love is the A1 is not the 50% decreased attack, which is a bummer. I mean, it's a bummer. Unfortunate, it could have been better, but it's not better. So overall, this fusion, I feel like, is a giant bust for Raid, and they're doing this, like, whatever, 4th anniversary thing, right? And the fusion is trash. So, you know, but my opinion on fusions actually still stands. So if you made it all the way to this part of the video, you're probably like, well, you know, Soul is down on this champ. I'm not gonna fuse this champ. My opinion is, honestly, every single fusion that you can go for, you should go for just long-term stuff. because of balance changes, right? So they just balance change Bergam car. So for me, where I put resources on in Bergam car, you can watch my videos on that. Like I think you can watch some of my Doom Tower videos. So Bergam car was a big part of my early Doom Tower pushes. Not all the way through to 120 hard, but about as high as I can go at the time with the champs I had available. And Bergam car helped me out there. And then the other one is, I think, for Orc. Is he Orc or Lizardman? Oh, Lizardman. Lizardman Faction Wars. I think Bergam car was a big piece of that. So yeah. What am I trying to say here? Well, like, oh, this is like some kind of endorsement of Bergam car? Of course not. But look at Foley, what they did for Foley, if that's like way back, right? And then Fusion champs are not only primed to get buff in some way, but they also allow you to access certain skills that is available to other elite legendaries, right? So they kind of like downgrade that skill to something that is accessible to a fusion champ. So a good example would be somebody like Helicath, I think would be a great example, which is unkillable, and then now you get unkillable with Helicath, right? So there are Helicath builds that may be the best build, but you know, is it better than the Mytha builds? I don't know. Is it better than double man-eater builds, you know? So you get like a legendary, which is a higher resource type character in Raid. So legendary doesn't really mean a good thing in Raid, actually. It's a high resource character because legendary books are so hard to get. But you get access, you get 100% chance of accessing a certain skill. So with Oella, that certain skill is obviously increased resistance, right? So increased resistance, it's a new thing. And we don't know how big of a buff increased resistance is going to be. It might actually end up being better than block debuffs, like believe it or not. It might become even more important than block debuffs for live arena or PvP in general. So that would be the one thing you'd be missing out on if you do decide to skip on her the way I'm skipping out on her. I feel like, you know, so we piggyback onto the live arena discussion, right? And I feel like live arena is not really a place where a lot of the people playing this game are going to spend time doing. And by people playing this game, I mean the people that watch this video. People that watch this video are like progressing players. They're like people that, you know, that want to figure out, hey, I'm a progressing player, what do I do? So I got all sorts of like minimum comp videos in this channel. Look it all up. It's all great for dungeons. Figure out when you should go for fusions. I got that. I cover all those topics. This is what I do here. And the reason why I haven't posted for Oella in particular is because I wasn't very enthused about her, honestly. And I feel like it would be leading some of my viewers astray if I pumped her up too much. So I feel like if you're kind of like in the late game, mid game-ish, and you have extra resources to when they do pull out another fusion right after Oella, and that fusion is a must fuse, you'll be able to get that one still. So for me, I will be able to get Oella. The only thing is I want to stockpile some shards to see what the next guaranteed is. So I'm still like very slightly bullish on guaranteed champs. Not, you know, not the way I was last year. Like last year, guaranteed champs was like where it was at. So other than Helicath, like if you skipped all the fusions last year and you just did Helicath and you did all the guaranteed champs, especially just guaranteed sacreds, wow, you had an insane year of Raid. Like playing free to play or playing low spender, like you would have had an amazing year of Raid last year if you just did that. This year, I'm not quite so sure what the direction is. So we're at February still. Last month's fusion was, I don't even remember who last month's fusion was. Who the heck was last month's fusion? Was it a must fuse? Pythion. Yeah, Pythion is actually good. So Pythion is actually a great example of a great fusion champ. because Python is kind of like Duchess light, like light, but still kind of like the Duchess's vibe. So kind of like that's how you should see fusions. You should see fusions as a guaranteed way of accessing a game element that previously you would have had to gamble for, right? So see y'all next time. Peace out.